70% of the people in the restaurant was Korean. When we go to the K-town, like maybe 80% of the customers like
From other countries.
yeah.
요즘 미국 현지에서의 한식 열풍 정말 대단하다고 하죠. 김밥이나 불고기 같은 대중적인 요리는 물론이고 이제는 고급 식재료를 사용한 궁중 요리를 비롯해 한 끼에 $200는 거뜬히 넘는 유명 레스토랑에서도 한식을 접목한 디쉬를 선보이고 있다고 하는데요. 그런데 미국 내에서의 한식의 인기가 단순히 우연이 아니라며 취재에 나선 미국의 한 매체가 있습니다. 미국 뉴욕의 한 유명 식당 셰프가 털어놓는 한식 인기의 진실, CBS 특집 방송을 번역해서 전해드려요.
Korean culture seems to be everywhere in America nowadays, from films to music and especially food, and that's a good thing. It's part of a years-long multi-million-dollar effort by the South Korean government to get Americans interested in Korean culture.
You've heard the music, seen the movies, and probably eaten the food.
This is a golden time for the Korean culture and golden time for the Korean cuisine too.
Just blocks away from New York City's Koreatown, we met Chef Jung Young Park and his wife Elia. They say when they moved here a decade ago, this neighborhood felt, well, different.
Maybe like 70% of the people in the restaurant was Korean.
The pair wanted to diversify K-Town's clientele, opening Atomix in 2018 with the goal of attracting Americans to a more modern Korean menu. With dishes like sardine on marigold rice and gim bulgock and striped jack with yellow pepper and red cabbage, the couple have caught the attention of diners and critics, earning 2 Michelin stars and inspiring curiosity in beyond what's on the plate.
They're curious about what the Korean cuisine is and also what Korea is.
But that recent and growing interest isn't just coincidence. South Korea's gastro-diplomacy campaign began in 2009. Over the last 15 years, their government has spent roughly $150 million bringing its food to the world stage.
A lot of advertising, a lot of promotion of export products, subsidies to private sector groups.
Government data from South Korea shows the investment is paying off. Since the campaign began, Korean food exports have more than doubled, with kimchi exports hitting an all-time high last year. And the U.S. was one of the biggest buyers.
This is soft power.
When we go to the K-town, like maybe 80% of the customers like
From other countries.
yeah.
Definitely not a restaurant only for the Korean people. It's for everyone.
And important to mention that Korean culture and cuisine isn't just existing on the world stage right now, it is thriving. The number of Korean Michelin star restaurants were 0 in 2010. Today, it's 23.
Wow.
And the most amount of people who are actually going to those restaurants are non-Korean, and that's the whole point of gastro-diplomacy.
Well, I think it's so fascinating. We've talked about this, how oftentimes ethnic cuisines do not get the same respect that European cuisines
Yes.
get, and now they finally
Especially in fine dining.
미국에서 프랑스나 이탈리아 요리보다 더 고급스럽다는 평가를 받고 있다는 한식. 실제로 최근에는 미국 내 한식당의 수가 기하급수적으로 증가하고 있을 뿐만 아니라 엄격한 평가 후에 주어지는 미슐랭을 획득한 고급 레스토랑도 늘어난 추세라고 하는데요. 그래도 아직은 중국이나 일본 음식에 비할 때가 못 된다. 고 말하는 이들에게 미국의 한 리포터가 이렇게 말합니다. 모든 변화는 이제 시작일 뿐이라고요.
In the US, there are more than 45,000 Chinese restaurants and about 25,000 Japanese restaurants. But Korean restaurants, their numbers hover between 6,000 and 8,000 and have for about the past 10 years. And these numbers are not proportionate to the population of these nationalities in the US. But recently, I've noticed this imbalance starting to change. My neighborhood grocery store has started offering a variety of kimchis, and Trader Joe's has even started carrying bulgogi and tteokbokki. I've even noticed several new Korean restaurants open in my neighborhood and on my route to work within the last couple of years. And the reason for this sudden interest in Korean food, it turns out, isn't actually as organic as you might think. The first notable wave of immigration dates way back to 1903, when Koreans began arriving to Hawaii and later California to work on sugar and pineapple plantations. After the Korean War, Korean immigration to the United States increased, the majority of which were sponsored by family members or religious organizations. They settled primarily in cities like Los Angeles, New York, and Chicago, where they established communities and businesses. Korean restaurants steadily grew to serve these populations. In 2002, the Thai government decided to increase its culinary presence around the world. The idea being, more people trying and loving Thai food means more people being interested in Thailand, which equals more tourism and greater food and labor exports. So they launched the Global Thai Program, which involved chef trainings, an official Thai Select label that indicates the restaurant's authenticity, and up to $3 million in loans for Thai citizens who wanted to open a restaurant abroad. And this initiative worked. In the US alone, Thai restaurants grew from around 2,000 in 2002 to over 5,000 today. And globally, there are over 15,000 Thai restaurants today. As a result, Thailand experienced a 200% increase in tourism after they launched the Global Thai Program.
This campaign was so brilliant, in fact, that it led to the creation of a new term: gastro-diplomacy.
Seeing Thailand's success, South Korea decided to launch their own form of gastro-diplomacy. It was called the Korean Cuisine to the World campaign, but it got off to a slow start.
Now, for a long time, spice was something that was sort of exotic. It was an Indian food, it was an Asian food, it was a Middle Eastern food. It was not in Western European food. It was not in American food.
To shows like Squid Game and Alchemy of Souls, but it's also hard to ignore the influence of Korean cinema in recent years as well. The film Parasite, which came out in 2019, became the first foreign language film ever to win Best Picture at the Oscars. And all of this increased attention on Korean TV and film did finally start to have an impact on Americans' awareness of Korean food. Even Chef Hooni Kim of Danji in New York City has noticed a shift.
Even at my restaurants, we are getting diners who are BTS fans, who are fans of certain Korean movies, who would have probably not come to Korean restaurants because for the longest time, Korean restaurants were only for foodies.
In many ways, it seems that the Korean government's push towards its cultural exports and its culinary exports is starting to converge in such a way that it's finally giving Korean cuisine the boost it's needed.
You know, it should be obvious to everyone in 2023 that you cannot force things to become viral.
I think there is tension for me in the statement that Korean food took a while to get big. I think Korean food's always been big. It's just media attention towards it. And if you think about who drives media in the United States, maybe historically non-Koreans. So if you think about that, we just are seeing it more now, but it doesn't mean that it wasn't popular before.
Still, it seems undeniable that the Korean government's multi-pronged gastro and cultural diplomacy efforts have had an impact on helping Korean food finally get its proper shine here in the US. Korean food is now the 5th most Googled cuisine by Americans. According to data from the Food Institute, South Korea's travel and tourism is expected to create nearly 500,000 jobs within the next decade.
자료를 바탕으로 한 심도 깊은 분석도 인상적이지만 미국인들은 이제 알아차렸을 뿐 한식은 항상 대단했다 라고 자신있게 말하는 한국인 셰프의 발언이 정말 멋집니다. 무궁무진한 한식의 세계화, 앞으로가 더 기대되는데요. 오늘도 영상 끝까지 함께 해주신 구독자분들께 깊이 감사드리며 오늘 이야기를 마무리 지을게요. 구독과 좋아요는 사랑입니다.